Hey everyone, so for today's video I'm going to be doing a little bit of speculation on the recent RSI Odin leaks. There's very little information on the ship, at least that's available to the public, but I think it's going to be quite an interesting ship once we actually do get some information. Before I start though, be sure to look in the description for how to enter the giveaway I'm currently running if you want to. So like I said, not much at all is known about this ship, but it's generally agreed to be another corvette from RSI. RSI also makes the Polaris, but supposedly the Odin is going to be a little bit smaller than the Polaris. Its exact size is still unknown, but it's supposed to be somewhere between the Polaris, which is 155 meters, and the Hammerhead, which is 115. So right now, all the corvettes have pretty specific roles. The Polaris is a missile boat, it has a large capacity of torpedoes. The Hammerhead is an anti-fighter ship with all its turrets, and the Nautilus is a mine-laying and mine-sweeping ship. Right now, the leaked role of the Odin is supposed to be a ship designed for doing broadsides, which is definitely interesting. So it's supposed to have some really big guns under those flaps that you can see, and it'll be useful for going up against bigger capital ships. I'm going to be curious to see how that's going to work out though, because it seems like doing broadsides would require it to get pretty close to the ships it's going up against, and I feel like that would put it in danger, especially if it's going up against ships that are bigger than itself. But that might be the purpose of the flaps. They could be large armor flaps that are designed to keep it safe while it's carrying out its broadsides. So I could see that combined with this ship having a much higher speed than other capital ships, allowing this ship to carry out its role of doing broadsides. If it's going to do that though, it's going to have some really big guns under those flaps. The reason I wanted to make this video though is because of a possibility that I haven't seen anyone else talking about. So this is very unlikely to be the case, but I just thought it was interesting to look at if it would even be a possibility just based on the size of this ship. So to me, looking at those flaps, it kind of looks as if it could almost be a light carrier, similar to the Gazanti class cruiser from Star Wars. So if you don't know, that's a ship, it externally carries some TIE fighters. So this isn't very likely, but I think it is a pretty interesting concept. And also RSI makes the Bengal, which is the massive carrier that's going to be in the game eventually. So what's to say they don't make a smaller carrier too? So I made some more overlays for this video, and the first ship that I wanted to try to fit on this was the Gladius, since it's pretty commonly used as a military light fighter. And I did this having the Odin sized at the very top end of its possible size range, so I had it be 150 meters. It would definitely be cool if this could fit 4 Gladiuses, but I don't think they'd really do that, especially since I don't think that even the Idris can fit 4, and I don't think they want a Corvette stepping on the Idris's toes. And unfortunately, just based on the size comparison here, it seems like it would be very tough to fit all 4 of them on board. There's a chance it could happen though if they see that the fact that they're externally docked is a big enough drawback, and also the fact that the Odin itself, if it were in this configuration, wouldn't have many turrets on its own, because it only has 2 besides the ones that are supposedly going to be under the flaps. But if it were a carrier, it wouldn't have those. So since the Gladius was too big, I moved on to a ship that I think is probably even more plausible that it could carry, which is the P-52. The Constellation series, which is also made by RSI, carries 1 P-52, so it could kind of make sense to have a bigger ship from RSI that carries a small squadron of them. These also fit pretty well, and they could probably even fit in a smaller version of the Odin, so if it were closer to the Hammerhead size instead of the Polaris. So I doubt that the Odin is actually going to be a light carrier, but I'd love to see a light carrier in the game because that's a pretty cool role to fill. And everyone likes carriers just because they can be pretty versatile and could even be repurposed as a mobile base for a group of players. So I'm going to end this one here, but I'm excited to hopefully get some official information on the RSI Odin sometime in the future. Also, if you want a better look at this ship, be sure to check out 1 or 2 of the videos that I linked below, just because I didn't want to steal anyone's footage. So if you haven't seen those leaks, I'd recommend going and checking out one of those videos just so you get a better feel of the shape of this ship. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.